Have you ever felt like your emotions were holding you back, like your anger, fear, or sadness were preventing you from achieving your goals? You're not alone. Many of us struggle to control our emotions, and it can have a significant impact on our lives. From our finances to our relationships, and everything in between, our emotions play a powerful role in shaping our experiences. But what if I told you that you could learn to master your emotions? That you could develop the skills to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and clarity? In this video, we're going to explore the transformative power of emotional control and how it can unlock a world of possibilities. Think about a time when your emotions got the best of you. Maybe you said something you regretted in the heat of the moment, or made a decision based on fear rather than logic. Unchecked emotions can lead to a cascade of negative consequences impacting our careers, relationships, and overall well-being. When we allow our emotions to dictate our actions, we relinquish control over our lives. But there's hope. By understanding the nature of our emotions and developing strategies to manage them effectively, we can break free from this cycle and create a more positive and fulfilling life. Mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. It's about developing a deeper understanding of your inner world and learning to respond to your emotions in healthy and constructive ways. Throughout this video, we'll delve into practical steps you can take to develop emotional intelligence, cultivate self-awareness, and build resilience. We'll explore techniques to identify your emotional triggers, challenge negative thought patterns, and cultivate a more positive and empowered mindset. We all carry a past. It shapes us, molds us, and sometimes it burdens us. It's a collection of experiences, both good and bad, that have contributed to the people we are today. But what happens when the past begins to weigh us down? When the echoes of painful memories and unresolved traumas seep into our present, casting a shadow over our lives? For many of us, the answer is a silent struggle with depression and anxiety. We find ourselves trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts and emotions, haunted by the ghosts of experiences we'd rather forget. Unfortunately, we live in a world where pain and suffering are often inflicted upon us, sometimes in the most insidious and damaging ways. Sexual abuse, failed relationships, betrayals, these experiences can leave deep, unseen scars on our psyches. The trauma of these events can manifest in a myriad of ways, from anxiety and depression to difficulty forming healthy relationships and a pervasive sense of fear or distrust. It's essential to acknowledge that these experiences, while incredibly painful, are not a reflection of our worth or value. We are not defined by the traumas we've endured. Often, our instinct is to bury these painful memories, to push them down and pretend they don't exist. We may tell ourselves that we're over it or that we're strong enough to move on without addressing the underlying wounds. However, unacknowledged pain has a way of resurfacing, often in ways we least expect. It can manifest as anger, irritability, self-destructive behaviors, or a general sense of unease and discontent. By avoiding the pain, we inadvertently give it power over us. It festers in the shadows, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in subtle yet profound ways. The path to healing begins with acknowledging the presence of our pain. It requires us to summon the courage to face our demons, to shine a light on the darkest corners of our past, and confront the experiences that have shaped us. This is not an easy task. It requires immense vulnerability and strength to revisit those painful memories, to allow ourselves to feel the full weight of the emotions we've been suppressing for so long. But it is in this process of facing our demons that we begin to reclaim our power. We realize that we are not defined by our past, that we have the strength to overcome adversity and emerge from the darkness stronger and more resilient than before. Section 5. Breaking free from the shadows. The journey of healing from past trauma is not linear. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when the pain feels overwhelming. But it is a journey worth taking. By seeking professional help, engaging in self-care practices, and cultivating a support system of trusted individuals, we can begin to heal the wounds of the past and step into a brighter future. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. There are resources available to support you, and with each step you take towards healing, you move closer to a life free from the shadows of the past. Section 1. The Power of Acceptance. One of the most challenging yet liberating steps in overcoming the weight of the past is accepting that it happened. It's about acknowledging the reality of our experiences, however painful they may be, without judgment or denial. Acceptance doesn't mean condoning or minimizing the pain. It's not about saying that what happened was okay or that it doesn't matter. It's simply about acknowledging the truth of our past so that we can begin to heal and move forward. Often, our resistance to accepting the past stems from a desire to avoid pain. We may believe that if we don't think about it, if we pretend it didn't happen, then the pain won't be real. However, this denial only serves to keep us trapped in a cycle of suffering. Section 2. Reframing the narrative. For many of us, our past experiences, particularly those that were traumatic or deeply painful, have become intertwined with our sense of self. We may carry a narrative in our minds that defines us by these experiences, shaping our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. We may tell ourselves stories like, "I'm not good enough," "I'm unlovable," or "I'll never be happy," based on the events of our past. These negative self-beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in ways that perpetuate the cycle of pain. Reframing the narrative involves challenging these negative beliefs and replacing them with more empowering and compassionate ones. It's about recognizing that our past experiences, while a part of our story, do not define us. Section 3. Embracing imperfection. Another crucial aspect of acceptance is embracing the imperfection of life. Many of us struggle with the need to control everything, to strive for a sense of order and predictability in a world that is inherently chaotic. When things don't go according to plan, when we experience setbacks, failures, or losses, it can be tempting to fall into a spiral of self-criticism and blame. We may beat ourselves up for our mistakes, dwelling on what we should have done differently or how we could have prevented the pain. However, true acceptance involves letting go of this need for control and embracing the reality that life is unpredictable. It's about recognizing that setbacks and failures are not signs of weakness, but rather opportunities for growth and learning. Section 4. The freedom of letting go. Letting go of the past is often easier said than done. It's a process that requires time, patience, and a willingness to confront our pain. However, it is in the act of letting go that we truly free ourselves from the shackles of the past and open ourselves up to the possibility of a brighter future. Holding on to anger, resentment, or guilt only serves to keep us tethered to the very experiences we're trying to move on from. It's like carrying a heavy weight on our shoulders, draining our energy and preventing us from fully embracing the present moment. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It simply means releasing the emotional grip that the past has on us. It's about choosing to focus our energy on creating a positive and fulfilling present rather than dwelling on the pain of the past. Section 5. Moving forward with grace. Moving on from the past is not about erasing it or pretending it didn't happen. It's about integrating our experiences into the fabric of who we are, learning from our mistakes, and using our past to inform our present and future choices. It's about recognizing that we are not defined by our past, but rather by the choices we make in the present moment. We have the power to choose how we respond to our experiences, to find meaning in our suffering, and to create a future filled with hope, joy, and fulfillment. Moving forward with grace involves cultivating self-compassion, forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes, and embracing the present moment with open arms. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of love, happiness, and peace regardless of our past experiences. As human beings, we are wired for connection. We crave the approval and acceptance of others, seeking validation from those around us. While this desire for connection is natural and healthy to a certain extent, it can become problematic when we allow it to dictate our sense of self-worth. When we become overly reliant on external validation, we relinquish our power to define who we are and what we stand for. We become chameleons, constantly adapting our behaviors and beliefs to please others, even if it means compromising our own values or happiness. This constant need for approval can lead to a never-ending cycle of seeking validation, always feeling like we're not enough, never quite measuring up to the expectations we perceive others to have. The key to breaking free from the trap of external validation lies in cultivating a strong sense of self-worth that is rooted in our own values, beliefs, and experiences. It's about recognizing that our worthiness is not contingent upon the opinions or approval of others, but is inherent within us. This shift in perspective requires us to challenge the negative self-talk and limiting beliefs that may be holding us back. It's about replacing thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm not worthy of love," with affirmations that empower us and remind us of our inherent value. When we define our own worth, we free ourselves from the need to seek validation from others. We become more confident in our choices, more comfortable setting boundaries, and more resilient in the face of criticism or rejection. Learning to set healthy boundaries is essential for maintaining emotional independence and protecting our well-being. Boundaries are the limits we establish to define what we will and will not accept in our relationships with others. They are not about controlling others or pushing people away. Rather, they are about honoring our own needs and values, creating a safe and respectful space for ourselves within our relationships. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if we're used to putting the needs of others before our own. It requires us to be assertive, to communicate our needs clearly and respectfully, and to be willing to walk away from relationships that are not serving us. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the permission to be authentically who we are, without apology or reservation. This means embracing our quirks, celebrating our strengths, and acknowledging our imperfections. It means letting go of the need to fit in, to conform to societal expectations, or to please everyone around us. It's about recognizing that our uniqueness is what makes us special and valuable. Being authentic requires courage. It means being vulnerable, showing up in the world as our true selves, even when it feels scary or uncomfortable. But it is in this vulnerability that we truly connect with others, build genuine relationships, and experience the fullness of who we are. Cultivating emotional independence is not about becoming an island, isolating ourselves from others, or shutting down our emotions. It's about developing the inner strength and resilience to navigate the challenges of life, while maintaining a strong sense of self and a healthy connection with others. It's about learning to regulate our emotions, to sit with discomfort without being consumed by it, and to make choices that align with our values, even when faced with external pressure or disapproval. Cultivating inner strength is an ongoing journey, one that requires us to be patient with ourselves, to practice self-compassion, and to celebrate our progress along the way. We've explored the importance of accepting our past and letting go of the need for external validation. But what about the heavy weight of guilt and shame that often accompanies our past mistakes and regrets? How do we forgive ourselves for the things we've done wrong, the choices we wish we could take back? Guilt and shame can be incredibly isolating emotions. They whisper insidious lies in our ears, telling us we're not worthy of love, forgiveness, or happiness. They keep us stuck in a cycle of self-recrimination, preventing us from moving forward and embracing the possibility of a brighter future. We may replay past mistakes in our minds, agonizing over what we should have done differently, torturing ourselves with what-ifs and if-onlys. This self-inflicted punishment can be incredibly damaging to our self-esteem and overall well-being. The first step towards self-forgiveness is acknowledging that we are all human, flawed, and imperfect beings. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets. It's an inevitable part of the human experience. Holding on to guilt and shame serves no purpose other than to keep us trapped in the past. It prevents us from learning from our mistakes, growing as individuals, and experiencing the fullness of life in the present moment. Releasing the grip of the past requires us to cultivate self-compassion, to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a loved one who had made a mistake. It's about recognizing that we did the best we could with the knowledge and resources we had at the time. Forgiving ourselves is not about condoning our past actions or pretending they didn't have consequences. It's about acknowledging the pain we may have caused ourselves or others, taking responsibility for our choices, and then choosing to release the burden of guilt and shame. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-love. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of compassion, even when we've made mistakes. It's about choosing to break free from the chains of the past and step into a future filled with hope and possibility. When we forgive ourselves, we open ourselves up to the possibility of healing, growth, and transformation. We allow ourselves to move forward with a lighter heart, a clearer mind, and a renewed sense of purpose. Cultivating self-compassion is essential for self-forgiveness. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we would offer a close friend or loved one who is struggling. Instead of berating ourselves for our mistakes, we can choose to offer ourselves words of comfort and encouragement. We can acknowledge our pain, validate our feelings, and remind ourselves that we are not defined by our past actions. Self-compassion is not about letting ourselves off the hook or making excuses for our behavior. It's about recognizing that we are all works in progress, always learning and growing, and that we deserve our own love and forgiveness, even when we fall short of our own expectations. Section 5. A path to inner peace. Forgiving ourselves is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires patience, practice, and a willingness to be gentle with ourselves. There may be times when the guilt and shame resurface, when the weight of the past feels heavy on our hearts. In these moments, it's essential to remind ourselves of the progress we've made, to acknowledge our commitment to self-forgiveness, and to offer ourselves the same compassion and understanding that we would offer a loved one. Forgiving ourselves is a journey, not a destination. It's a path that leads us towards greater inner peace, self-acceptance, and emotional freedom. And it's a journey worth taking, one step at a time. The allure of instant gratification. Our modern world is a whirlwind of instant gratification. We're constantly bombarded with messages to prioritize immediate pleasure. It's a seductive trap that can lead us astray. Our emotions often clamor for instant gratification. Acting on emotions impulsively can have detrimental consequences. Section 2. Emotions as fleeting whispers. Imagine your emotions as whispers in the wind, constantly swirling around you, vying for your attention. Some whispers may be gentle and encouraging, while others are loud, demanding, and insistent. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of these emotional whispers, allowing them to dictate our actions and shape our experiences. But what if we could learn to observe these whispers without judgment, to acknowledge their presence without allowing them to control us? What if we could develop the ability to pause, to step back from the intensity of our emotions, and to make choices that are aligned with our values and long-term goals, rather than reacting impulsively to the fleeting whispers of our feelings? This ability to detach from the immediacy of our emotions is not about suppressing or denying them. It's about cultivating a sense of self-awareness that allows us to recognize our emotions as they arise, to understand their triggers, and to choose how we want to respond to them. It's about recognizing that we are not our emotions. We are the observers of our emotions. Section 3. The long game of life. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The choices we make today have ripple effects that extend far into our future. When we allow ourselves to be ruled by instant gratification, we often end up sacrificing long-term happiness and fulfillment for fleeting moments of pleasure or relief. Think about your goals and aspirations. What do you truly want to achieve in life? What kind of person do you want to become? Now consider how your current habits and behaviors are either supporting or hindering your progress towards those goals. Are you making choices that are aligned with your values and aspirations? Or are you allowing instant gratification to derail you from your path? This is not to say that we should deny ourselves all pleasures or live a life devoid of spontaneity. Rather, it's about finding a balance between enjoying the present moment and making choices that support our long-term well-being. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from living a life that is aligned with our values, pursuing our passions, and making a positive impact on the world around us. Section 4. Reclaiming the reins. So how do we break free from the allure of instant gratification and reclaim the reins of our emotional lives? It starts with cultivating self-awareness, with paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing exercises, can be incredibly helpful in developing this sense of self-awareness. By taking the time to simply observe our thoughts and feelings as they arise, without attaching to them or judging them, we can begin to create a sense of space between ourselves and our emotions. Another powerful tool for reclaiming emotional control is the practice of cognitive reframing. This involves challenging negative or unhelpful thought patterns and replacing them with more positive and empowering ones. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I'll never be able to resist this temptation," try reframing that thought as, "I have the power to make a different choice this time." Section 5. Navigating the emotional landscape. Emotions are a natural and essential part of the human experience. They add color, depth, and meaning to our lives. Learn to navigate the emotional landscape with awareness and compassion. Emotions are a compass, providing valuable information about your needs and boundaries. Pause and ask, "What is this emotion trying to tell me?" Listen to your emotions without being controlled by them. Section 1. The journey to emotional mastery. Emotions impact every aspect of our lives. Societal influences shape our emotional landscape. Accept and move on from past experiences. Cultivate emotional independence. Beware of instant gratification. Embrace self-forgiveness. Mastering emotions isn't about suppression. Understand your inner world. Respond constructively to emotions. You are the observer of your emotions. The journey requires effort and perseverance. Embrace challenges along the way. There will be setbacks and doubts. Times when you feel like giving up. Cultivate resilience. Learn from mistakes. Emerge stronger and wiser. Section 2. The fruits of your labor. As you continue on this journey of emotional growth, you'll begin to notice subtle yet profound shifts within yourself and in your life. You'll find yourself responding to challenging situations with greater calmness and clarity, rather than reacting impulsively. You'll experience a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment, even when life throws you curveballs. Your relationships will flourish as you learn to communicate your needs more effectively and set healthy boundaries. You'll attract people into your life who appreciate your authenticity and who support your growth, and you'll find yourself navigating the complexities of life with greater ease, resilience, and grace. Remember, the journey to emotional mastery is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress along the way, and never underestimate the transformative power of small, consistent steps taken in the direction of your goals. Section 3. Embracing a life of purpose and fulfillment. As you cultivate greater emotional intelligence, you'll unlock a world of possibilities within yourself and in your life. You'll discover hidden strengths, tap into your passions, and find the courage to pursue your dreams with unwavering determination. You'll no longer be held back by limiting beliefs, self-doubt, or the fear of judgment. Instead, you'll step into the fullness of who you are, embracing your authentic self with confidence and grace. And as you do, you'll inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positivity and empowerment that extends far beyond your own life. The journey to emotional mastery is an ongoing adventure, one filled with challenges, growth, and incredible rewards. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and never stop exploring the vast potential that lies within you. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of emotional intelligence. I believe that by understanding and mastering our emotions, we can create a world filled with greater compassion, connection, and joy.